Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here today because, well, we're taking a science-backed tour straight through the heart of our homes, the kitchen. Look, if you've spent any time on the internet lately, you've probably been told that literally everything in your kitchen is out to get you, right? We're just constantly bombarded with fear-mongering content telling us how to cook, what to cook in, and what ancient ingredients are secretly poison. But today we're cutting through all that algorithmic noise. We're going to rely on pure, evidence-based science to debunk these persistent social media myths and give you practical, actual health hacks pulled right from the source material. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with safe, modern appliances, then examine the biology of the vegetarian egg, settle that massive sugar versus jaggery debate, explore a brilliant leftover rice hack, and finally, look at how meal timing with tea impacts your iron. So Section 1, modern appliances are perfectly safe. We're putting science over scaremongering, starting right at your kitchen counter. If you scroll through enough short-form videos, you're inevitably going to find someone calling your microwave a toxic radiation box. No way, right? Well, here's the actual scientific reality. A microwave uses non-ionizing radiation. Okay, what does that mean? It means it literally has less energy than the visible sunlight hitting your face when you step outside. It absolutely cannot alter your DNA, and it certainly doesn't make your food radioactive. All it does is just excite water molecules to generate heat. That's the whole shebang. And this brilliantly illustrates the point. The Indian Council of Medical Research officially states that a microwave oven retains the maximum amount of nutrients in food. Think about it. Because microwaves cook food incredibly fast, and usually with very little water, they're actually superior at preserving those delicate heat-sensitive and water-soluble vitamins compared to traditional boiling on a stove. And then, oh boy, there's the air fryer. So many people are totally convinced this new appliance is somehow dangerous. But guys, an air fryer is literally just a small convection oven with a really strong fan. It just circulates heat rapidly. That is it. If you're scared an air fryer causes health issues, then logically, you'd have to be utterly terrified of baking a cake or a pizza or cookies in a standard oven, because it's the exact same technology, just stuffed into a smaller box on your counter. Moving on to Section 2, the vegetarian supermarket egg. Let's open the fridge and look at biology in the poultry farm. To really understand what we're eating here, we have to look at the biology. Just like female mammals naturally produce milk when they give birth, female birds naturally produce eggs during their ovulation cycle. I mean, the word ovulation literally means the production of an egg. And this happens entirely regardless of whether a male bird is present. So those eggs you're buying in the supermarket, they are simply unfertilized byproducts of a natural cycle. I really want to completely reassure you on this one. In modern commercial poultry farms, hens are kept entirely isolated from male roosters. There is zero chance of fertilization. You could take a supermarket egg, put it in a high-tech incubator, sit on it for as long as you want. Actually, scratch that. Don't sit on it. But it will absolutely never hatch into a chick. There's just no life growing inside of it. So the crucial point is this. Culturally, we largely consider dairy milk to be perfectly vegetarian, right? Why? Because while it's extracted from an animal, it doesn't involve the death of that animal. Well, a supermarket egg fits this exact same definition perfectly. It's an unfertilized byproduct produced by a hen, and eating it involves zero killing. From a purely logical, biological standpoint, if milk is vegetarian, the unfertilized supermarket egg is equally vegetarian. All right, Section 3, Sugar versus Jaggery Reality Check. It's time to expose the sweet illusion. I want you to really ask yourself this. Is jaggery genuinely the healthier, natural, unprocessed alternative to white sugar that every social media influencer claims it is? We've somehow convinced ourselves that by swapping white sugar for jaggery, we're making this vastly superior health choice. But let's actually look at the chemistry. Now, what's really interesting about this is that once these sweeteners enter your small intestine, your body does not care one bit about organic marketing labels. Both are broken down into glucose and fructose with nearly identical calories. Jaggery even has a slightly higher glycemic index, which means it spikes your blood sugar faster. Sure, jaggery contains trace minerals, but in the tiny quarter teaspoon amounts you're actually consuming, it's statistically insignificant. If you actually want a safe, blood sugar-friendly alternative, the science points to stevia, a natural, zero-calorie plant extract, not jaggery. And let's completely dismantle this unprocessed myth while we're at it. White sugar is heavily regulated by food standards authorities to be 99.5% pure sucrose. Commercial jaggery, on the flip side, is basically unregulated. See, raw cane juice is highly acidic, literally acidic enough to curdle milk. So to make it sellable, unregulated makers often just dump in sodium hypochlorite to bleach it, anhydrous powder to reduce moisture, and various unmeasured chemicals to raise the pH. Look, while it tastes delicious, assuming it's a chemical-free, natural superfood is just a sweet illusion. At the end of the day, sugar is sugar. That brings us to Section 4, the leftover rice hack. Let's look at what our grandmothers got right. You've probably heard scaremongers online saying you should never eat food that's been kept in the fridge. Well, that is biologically incorrect. Let me introduce you to something amazing: resistant starch. When you cook starchy foods, like rice or potatoes, and then cool them down in the refrigerator, the starch molecules physically retrograde. They literally change their structure. They become resistant to human digestion and instead act like a soluble fiber that feeds your healthy gut bacteria. It's like a superpower for your gut. There is a stark contrast in how your body handles this. Fresh, hot white rice is rapidly digested, which leads to a quick spike in your blood sugar. But if you take that exact same rice, put it in the fridge overnight, and eat it the next day, even if you reheat it, that newly formed resistant starch slows down digestion. It completely blunts the sugar spike. Our grandmothers who ate leftover cooled rice, they were actually practicing an incredibly advanced metabolic health hack without even knowing it. Let's do a quick fridge fact check. Does the fridge destroy nutrition? Absolutely not. Your carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and minerals are totally untouched by the cold. The only things that slightly degrade over a few days are water-soluble vitamins like B and C. And how do you fix that? Easy. Just add a fresh squeeze of lemon juice or a coriander garnish over your reheated leftovers, and you've instantly replaced what was lost. The fridge is a tool for food safety and molecular transformation, not some kind of nutrient destroyer. And finally, Section 5, meal timing, tea and iron. Let's talk about the post-meal mistake. 40 to 70%. Take a second to process that, because that is a massive number. If you have a habit of drinking a hot cup of tea or coffee immediately after a heavy lunch or dinner, you really need to hear this. The polyphenols and tannins present in tea and coffee aggressively attach themselves to the plant-based, non-heme iron in your food. This completely blocks your body from absorbing it, reducing your iron uptake by a staggering 40 to 70%. If you want to actually get the most out of your food, simply wait at least 1 hour after a meal before having your tea.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. Remember, just because a fear-mongering food video has millions of views doesn't make it biologically accurate. Your kitchen is safe, your appliances are absolute marvels of engineering, and a little bit of scientific literacy goes a really long way. But it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we were so wrong about eggs, rice, and jaggery, what other hidden kitchen myths are secretly dictating what you eat every single day? Stay curious, trust the evidence, and thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.